Hi children, how are you? I hope you are doing good. And by the way, this is Saujanya. Welcome to e-Manabadi. And children, today our topic is surface areas and volumes, class 9, chapter 30. And today we are going to discuss about surface area of a cuboid. And children, here we can see the cuboidal box, and where you can see all the faces of a cuboid. The cuboid box having 6 faces, and if you open the cuboid, this box will look like this. And here we have a cuboidal box, and here we can see the top face of the cuboidal box, and this is the side face of the cuboidal box, and this is the front face of the cuboidal box, and all these are called faces or surfaces. This is the surface or face. This is called the face or surface. And here we can see the transparent cuboidal box, and here we can see all the faces of a cuboid. Here this is the top face of the cuboid. This is the top, and here we can see the base of the cuboid. This is the base of the cuboid, and this is the side face of the cuboid. This is the side face of the cuboid, and here this is the one more side face of the cuboid. This is the one more side of the cuboid, and here you can see the front face of the cuboid, and this is the back face of the cuboid. And this is how we need to understand the cuboid. And these edges represents the length. Suppose here it is the length of the cuboid box, and here it is the breadth of the cuboidal box, and this represents the height of the cuboidal box. Suppose a plane surface doesn't contain this height dimension, but this is the solid cube, so this is the three-dimensional cuboidal box, so this contains the dimension h. And you know that this cuboidal shape can be formed by the number of rectangular pieces. Suppose this is one plain rectangular piece. By piling up the number of rectangular pieces of same size and shape and stack them up in a vertical pile, we can form a cuboidal shape. And here we have the cuboidal box. This is the example of the cuboidal shape, and here we can see the top face and side face and front face of the cuboid. But if you open this cuboidal box, you can see all the faces of the cuboid. Opposite to this top face, we can find the base of the cuboidal box. This is the base of the cuboidal box, and opposite to this side face, here we can find the opposite to this side face. Here we have one more side face. This is the one more side face of the cuboid, and opposite to this front face, this is the front end of the cuboid, and opposite to this front end we have one more back end of the cuboid. This is the back end of the cuboid, and you know that these are the edges of the cuboid, and these edges represents with the length, height and breadth. Suppose here this is the length of the cuboid, and this is the breadth of the cuboid, and this edge represents the height of the cuboid, and this represents the edges of the cuboid, and these are the faces of the cuboid. And now let's see how to find out the surface area of the cuboid. Children, the surface area is nothing but, suppose if you want to cover the bundle of pages with a sheet or any paper, we need to find out the how much paper is required to cover this rectangular bundle. Suppose first we will need a rectangular piece to cover the bottom of a bundle. We need to cover this bottom of the bundle. For that, suppose this is the rectangular piece what we need for which we need for the base of the base of this bundle, and here we have them. This edge represents the length of the bundle and this edge represents the breadth of the bundle, and we know that this is the rectangular piece and the area of this rectangular piece is nothing but LB. So this is the base area of the rectangular piece, and then we need to cover the two side ends of this rectangle bundle. Suppose opposite to this side end there is one more side end, so we need two long rectangular pieces to cover the two side ends, and here this is one side end, and you know that this edge represents the length and this edge represents the height, and the two opposite to this side end we have one more side end. This is the one more side end of the cuboidal box, and here we know that these two side ends are of similar measurement, so the area of this rectangular piece becomes L into H, that is equal to LH, and also the other side end also becomes, this is the length, this is the height, so the area of this rectangular piece also becomes LH. So now we have LB plus LH plus LH, and again we need to find out them. Now to cover the front and back ends, we will need two more rectangular pieces of different size with them, and we will now have a figure shot. Suppose this is the front end of the cuboidal box, and you know that this edge represents the breadth of the cuboidal box, and also this edge represents the height of the cuboidal box, and the front and back end are of similar measurements, so the area of this rectangular box becomes BH. Suppose this is BH, and opposite to this front face this is one more front face, and also you know that this edge is the breadth B and this edge represents the height H, so the area of this rectangular piece also becomes BH. Now finally, to cover the top of the bundle, we will require another rectangular piece exactly like the one at the bottom, and we need one more rectangular piece to cover the top of the bundle, and this is of same size as the base of the rectangular piece, and here we know that these two side ends are equal and two back ends are front and back ends are equal, and top and base are equal in measurement. So here this we know that the base area is length into breadth, and we know that this is also the top area also becomes length into breadth. So here we have LB, and you know that LB plus LB becomes 2LB, and here LB plus LB becomes 2LB, and LH plus LH becomes 2BH, and BH plus BH becomes 2BH. So here it is BH, and now take out the 2 as common. Now we have 2 into LB plus BH plus HL, and this is how we have to find out the surface area, total surface area of the cuboid. And let's find out the lateral surface of the cuboid. Children, we know that the total surface area is nothing but the area of all the surface area of the cuboid. Here, all the surface areas of the cuboid is nothing but total surface area, but to find out the lateral surface area, we need to exclude the top and base faces of the cuboid. Here, this is the base of the cuboid, and we need to exclude the top and bases of the cuboid. Suppose this is the base of the cuboid and this is the top face of the cuboid. We need to exclude these two areas and then we need to find out the remaining side areas of the side ends. These are the four side ends. We need to find out the areas of these four side ends, and by excluding the top and base we have two side ends, one front end and back end, and let's find out the surface area of this side end. This side end becomes the surface area of this side end becomes LH, and opposite to this side end we have one more side end. This is the side end and the area of this rectangular piece also becomes LH. Here we have LH plus LH, two side ends are LH plus LH, and this is the front end of the cuboidal box, and you know that this is the breadth of the cuboidal box and this is the height of the cuboidal box, and you know that the area of this rectangular piece becomes BH, and opposite to this front end we have one more back end. Suppose this is the back end of the cuboidal box, and here we know that this edge represents the H and this edge also represents B, and you know that the area of this side end also becomes BH. Now we have LH plus LH becomes 2LH and BH plus BH becomes 2BH. Now let's take out the 2H as common. Now the area becomes, lateral surface area becomes 2H into L plus B, where L, B, H are the edges of the cuboid. And children, till now we have understood that the surface area is nothing but, the total surface area is nothing but, this is the area of all the faces of the cuboid, and the lateral surface area is nothing but, we need to exclude the base and top of the cuboid, top area of the cuboid, and we need to find out the area of the four sides, that are two side ends and one is front end and back end, that is the lateral surface area of the cuboid. And you know that the surface area of the total surface area of the cuboid is 2 into LB plus BH plus HL, and whereas the lateral surface area is 2H into L plus B. And this is about surface area of the cuboid. If you have any queries, please comment on the comment section. Please do share, subscribe and like. Thank you children.